What's up and welcome back to the G-Dog and Bree Squad, where every day is a lit day. Lit content, lit kids, and lit Bree. You know how it goes. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing 5 very important things. Actually, I'm not going to put a number on it. I'm going to be doing very important things to know before you decide to breastfeed your child. And also, I want to let you guys know I'm not against anyone who formula feeds or breastfeeds, because honestly, whatever works best for you, you have to do. But this is just a video of my personal experience because I am a breastfeeding mother. So before we get into today's video, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you guys comment and subscribe to your girl's channel. And be sure to ring that bell below so you're notified every time your girl posts a video. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so I'm back and I'm going to tell you guys a few things that I think you should know and, focus on when you decide to breastfeed your child. So the first thing I think every mother should focus on is the latch. The latch is very important. It can become very painful if you latch your baby on wrong, or if the baby's latching himself or herself on the boob wrong, because sometimes they can latch on the side instead of directly on the nipple, and when that happens, it can become very painful. It can even cause blisters. It can make you bleed, and also, you have to make sure you use nipple cream sometimes because your boobs can crack, from them on it so much. It is saliva at the end of the day. So, make sure you're focused on the latch and not just like throwing your baby on the boob and you're not focused on how the baby's latched. If you feel like no milk is coming out, then more than likely the latch is wrong. The second thing is engorged boobs. Having engorged boobs can be very painful. It also can have very bad outcomes depending on how engorged the boob is. So for instance, if you're always breastfeeding your son or daughter on like the left boob, make sure you at least pumping the right boob, because this boob can still fill up with milk even though the baby because sometimes babies don't want the right boob or they don't prefer the right boob. So you could just pump that milk out and keep the baby latched on to the other boob if you have to, if that's just the case with your child. But it's so important to make sure that your boobs are not engorged and making sure that you're pumping and keeping that consistency when it comes to breastfeeding, because if not, you can get infections in your boobs. So many things can happen. And also, once an infection is formed, you have to go on any kind of medicines. You can no longer breastfeed the baby. So if you have a strictly breastfed baby, that can be very bad, So just focus on little things like that. If you feel like your boobs are too full, just go pump it out. And if your baby's not latching onto one boob, maybe he just likes one boob or she just likes one boob and not the other, just be sure to just pump out that other boob so that it doesn't just fill up and get infected. So keep that in mind when you decide to breastfeed as well. The next thing is to remain taking your prenatals even after you have the baby, because if you're breastfeeding, it's always good to keep those vitamins coming inside of your body, not just stop taking them. Because when I was pregnant, I took hair, nails, and I think it was hair, nails, some type of pill that was like a prenatal, and I also took like regular prenatals. So I was not able to take down the regular prenatals, so I ended up doing an alternative, which was the Flintstone vitamins. And they ended up helping so much. They're like Flintstone gummies. They taste amazing. I'm not going to lie, I can eat them like candy. But I also went to my doctor to make sure that was helpful. So I was taking 2 of those a day, every single day. And even to now, I'm still taking 2 of those a day, every single day. And it has worked miracles, because it also helps with your supply, because you're keeping those same good nutritions that you were bringing to your child while he or she was inside of you, and you're keeping that pumping inside of you now while the baby's here, and depending on you for all the nutrition things that the baby needs. Also, you have to always remember that you can't just go out there and eat all kind of snacks and unhealthy foods. And it's not really good to eat too much red meats, but I suck at not eating red meat because I love spaghetti, but it's really not good to eat a lot of red meats when you're breastfeeding. More like, or fried food. So try to stay more into baking, which I feel like that too. But these are just things that I'm letting you guys know to do. And I do sometimes, keep it a little limited when I'm frying my chicken and stuff. Not too much, or, trying to burn my food where it's extra crispy. No, I don't do that. But you do have to be aware of those things, because too much fried foods and oily foods and, all that goes to the baby. So you have to remember that. I know this one is something like a no-brainer, but stay hydrated. I don't think people realize how important it is to stay hydrated while breastfeeding. I know sometimes there's so much to be done in the house, like laundry, or you probably just, need to go cook or go clean or go do something, and it slips your mind to go and just drink a bottle of water or drink some water. But you have to do this when you decide to breastfeed, because the more hydrated you are, the more your milk supply will be. And I don't think people realize how much not drinking water can affect your milk supply. So for a better milk supply, you got to stay hydrated. Drink as much water as possible, and always remember that. Another thing is when you decide to breastfeed in public. I think a lot of women get looked at in the wrong way just because you decide to breastfeed your kid in public. When you first try breastfeeding in public, people are going to look at you, maybe even stare at you, but don't have no shame in breastfeeding in public. As long as you have a receiving blanket, or even, sometimes they have the things to put the baby inside and you can breastfeed with them. I really don't know what it's called, but they do have it where you can put the baby inside and then you could just latch them on. It's like a cover up. But me personally, I do not cover up when I breastfeed in public, because I'm not going to take my whole nipple out and just expose it to the world. No, if you have on a shirt, you can put the baby under your shirt like this and just let them latch on right there. It should be no shame in your game. Some people might look at you wrong, but don't feel embarrassed, because all you're doing is feeding your kid, just like we all eat in public. You have to remember, people are going to hate on you no matter what you decide to do. So do not go out there breastfeeding and feeling embarrassed. Don't ever do that. Just go out there, feed your baby, have fun, and be yourself. The final thing is to ask for help. Don't ever stress yourself out when it comes to breastfeeding. If you just need a 5-minute break, take it. Ask someone to take the baby for 5 minutes, because sometimes breastfeeding can become very overwhelming. When I say overwhelming, I have been breastfeeding for 6 months so far, and there's many times I became very overwhelmed because my son eats so often. But I asked for help, and you have to remember, you can ask for help. Don't sit there and stress yourself out, because the baby feels everything you feel. And that's one thing I think us as mothers fail to realize when we decide to breastfeed. The way our emotions are, it affects our baby as well. So always remember to ask for help. I know sometimes us as mothers, we want to do it on our own, but you can't do everything on your own. You have to ask for help. Me, I used to be that mother who thought I could do everything by myself until I had my first son, and I was breastfeeding him for 3.5 years. And I never could ask for help. I never could find it in myself to ask somebody to help me with my own child. But I started stressing myself out and my baby as well, because my milk supply started to lower because I was so stressed, because I was so tired and I was working. I was doing all of that. But you have to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And that would be it when it comes down to all the things I think you should know when it comes to breastfeeding. It's so much more to know, don't get me wrong. But these are just some very important things that are very small to me, but I think it slips people's minds when it comes to breastfeeding. So I do hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you guys comment, subscribe to my channel, and ring that bell below so you're notified every time I post a video. And I will see you guys in my next video.